Hi, I'm Joey Whitaker from High Point, North Carolina. I'm a singer-songwriter guitarist.
Tomorrow's another day and I probably kill the mountain. Oh yeah.
It all started when I was 5 years old. My father was an evangelist. My mother was a traveling evangelist wife, and they took me and my sister when we were younger and put us on a pulpit and made us sing. And I guess over time it kind of grew on me, the whole music thing, and developed into a passion, and it became what I wanted to do.
Well, I feel it coming back again, like a rolling thunder chasing the wind, forces pulling from the center of the earth again. I can feel it. Oh, I can feel it.
As a young child, I really didn't play a lot of instruments. My family was very poor because we were just traveling musicians pretty much even as a child, but I basically just used my voice, and that's pretty much what I stuck with when I was younger.
'Cause it's midnight, I'm gonna free. Just hear that whippoorwill, see the stars light up the purple sky, feel that lonesome chill. 'Cause when the wind is right, you'll hear a song, smell whiskey in the air. Midnight in Montgomery, he's always singing there.
When I first realized I wanted to become a musician was when I was about, I'd say, 11 years old. And I was sitting in church, and we had some special guests show up for church that evening. And there was this guy, he was so good, man. He played a saxophone, and the minute I seen him play saxophone, and just to see the attention that he got and just how much he moved everyone that was around me really spoke to my heart. And I knew that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in a position to touch people that way. And that's pretty much what inspired me to become a musician. What made me really interested in writing material and doing it myself as far as songs and whatnot was when I was younger, I liked to write poems. And I was really big into it. I guess what initially started it was when I was younger, I was kind of somewhat of a romantic, so I'd always write my little girlfriends, little poems or whatnot, and just became a good habit, and just I stuck with it. And Bumpy Road was the first song that I actually took from a poem and made it into an actual song. I didn't play guitar until I was 16, but at 11 years old I had wrote the song, or the poem, Bumpy Road, and then later I transcribed it into a song that worked for me.
Oh, when I met you, I had everything. Sweet love and tenderness to me you bring. But then you left me no room for compromise. You blew my heart away like the devil in disguise. It's just a bumpy road to love. Got to understand, yeah, that all you really need is someone to hold your hand. But if you owe someone to hold on to, oh, you'll have to ride this bumpy road of love through. Yeah.
Well, the process of me really learning how to play came from boredom. I had a very overprotective mother who would not let me go up the street and play basketball with all my friends or run down through the woods or whatnot. So I pretty much stayed at home or in my yard. And I remember playing guitar was one of those things that I would go outside on the front porch and I would sit for hours and hours upon end. Every instrument that I ever played, starting with a bassoon, was I always came home after school, grabbed my instrument, and went outside, because that was a way for me to get away from, everything that was going on with them, and kind of just be by myself and be alone with my thoughts. And that's where I was most comfortable. The thing that made me want to actually get out in front of people, I have to be honest with you on this one, that wasn't a choice. At a young age, I had a mother that threw me out there. Like I said, at 5 years old, me and my sister were on television and, a gospel radio. We'd always sing this one song. It's called Jesus Fan. And we were renowned for the two kids that sang that song. And so that's pretty much where the whole showmanship came from. I remember as a kid standing there on stage looking at the floor, and everybody's looking at me, and I was so nervous, but I really didn't have much of a choice because my mother was on the organ, my sister was beside me, and so it just kind of got thrown into it. Now as I got older, and like I said, saw the guy at the church, playing saxophone, and how he touched people, it wasn't really about wanting to be a show or being in front of a lot of people. Like I said, it was more or less, I realized I wanted to touch people inside, and I wanted to make them feel something and see things in my way, and to make them think kind of where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? Just a way for them to kind of look inside of me, because a lot of times I've always, I said to people, and I'm sure everybody said this at some point in time, I wish you could see my heart. I wish you could see what's inside of me. And for me, my music was a way to pull what was inside of me out, to show it to people. But of course I couldn't show it, but if they heard it and thought about it, maybe they could feel it too. And so that's kind of where it started.
At first you see them blue, then you'll see them red, then turn into a bright white light, and then you'll see them spread deep into the shadows where they abide, deep in the dark of brown mountain lights. Oh, brown mountain lights, the questions grow. Where do they come from and where do they go? Where do they come here and where do they hide? Live in the dark of brown mountain lights.
Well, the first time I ever got a gig and played guitar in public, I had no clue that people even got paid to do so. I was actually, I was sitting at a bar in High Point with some friends, and one of my friends brought it up to the owner of the place that, hey, if, they had a guitarist there or something a couple days before, and he had made a mention of it to my friend, and my friend said, well, you need to get Joey Whitaker to play guitar for you, because this guy rocks. And, the owner was very, I don't really know the word to use, but he was very just dismissive of the whole thing. He was like, yeah, that guy, I hear that all the time, he's probably just like everyone else. And at the time I had been drinking a little bit, and I decided that with the liquid confidence in me, I would go out there and get that guitar and bring it back in and show that man that I wasn't just like anyone else. And when I did, he immediately came out of his seat. He signed me and to come back there and play. And I played there for every bit of a year, every Friday, and sometimes Friday and Saturday. And then it later on went to Sundays, Thursdays. It kept me quite busy up until a couple of the local artists that did it for a living came up to me and told me that if I was to continue to play music for nothing, that they were going to be upset. And so that's where I kind of just started, going out to other places, other venues, and trying bigger things, because the little place I started, it kind of gave me the confidence to do that. And so once I got that under my belt, just sky's the limit. My goals musically, I would definitely have to say, is to be able to reach everybody that has a pair of ears, and so that they can hear my music and hopefully feel what it was that I was feeling when I wrote that song, and you know, to share just a little bit of the happiness that I have when I get to hear and listen to some of this music. The best advice that I can give for somebody that's actually interested in playing guitar, you know, for a living, would be follow your heart, mind your dreams, and don't let anybody else take them away from you, because they will. People are very critical, and you can't let that criticism affect your music. You just have to like what you do. You have to like what you do enough that no matter what anybody else thinks about it, it's good enough for you. Absolutely, it's very important to teach music to kids. Kids are the future of music, and if you don't teach kids music, then the music that you get never gets any better. It's you know, it's just, yeah, kids are our future, and definitely, you know, teaching kids music is something that can keep them out of trouble. It sure did me, and give them something to put their heart into that, you know, can really produce fruits of their labor. I would view collaboration with other artists as essential. None of us is as good as all of us. And when you take something, you know, most of us musicians, we really get into something. Like for me in particular, I get into a song, I'll listen to it and hear it, and I'm all about that song for 2 days. You know, but then as musicians, we grow and we learn, and once we learn something, it kind of gets forgotten. But every time we learn something, we always see something new. And so every time you see something new, it's like, well, I know how to do this, but wow, that really sounds great. And so you follow that. And then after you follow that and you learn it, well, then by that time you've done seen something else. And so it's just a never ending cycle of, you know, wanting to do something. Like a true artist is never satisfied. Well, the only other interest I have outside of playing music, I'm an avid frisbee golf player. Other than that, I'd probably say sitting at the beach with a pina colada and enjoying the weather. Well, you asked me what it's like to be a father. I have to tell you, it can be stressful sometimes. You know, notice I've lost all my hair doing it. You know, my little boy is just amazing. He's just the sweetest thing. And, you know, I used to not like kids at all. And as I got older and I had my own kid, after I had mine, I love them all. You know, you can't love one kid and not love them all. And so in all seriousness, it's just great being a father. I learned a lot from him. I think I probably learned more from him than what he learns from me. But, you know, the song Sky High, most people think that song has all kinds of meanings. The main meaning of that song is sky high. That was the feeling I had when my son was born. I was just top of my life right there. And so he's pretty much the pinnacle of my existence. And I'm just, being a father is great, you know, teaching him music, and hopefully I'll be able to collaborate with him as he gets older. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is just being able to share something that you can't see, and you really can't even hear. Only musicians, is once they connect together, there's that connection is a feeling, and that feeling is hard to explain. It's hard to put into words. It's hard to, like I said, you can't see it. But I'm really looking forward to hopefully one day getting him to a point where we can collaborate together and enjoy music together, and, you know, as father and son. That's what I'm really looking forward to. But being a father is great. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. If somebody's coming to see me and they've never seen me before, I can guarantee them that they're going to see probably more heart and soul into a performance than they've probably ever seen in their life. And the reason I say that, I mean, I've seen a lot of people play, and I've seen myself play, of course, too, you know, through video and everything like that. But I feel like I get into a different world, and you know, my body, every part of my body, and that guitar kind of merged together into one. And, you know, I would want them to take away the fact that, you know, they heard something that was truly heartfelt, but I would really want for them to feel what I'm feeling at the point in time that I'm playing it, because if they do, that's something they'll take away and they'll never forget. I'm Joey Whitaker. Do yourself a favor and come out to one of my shows soon. I guarantee you won't be disappointed.